Welcome to Easy Knowing. I'm Sherie Kennedy, and I really am happy to have you listening to me. And I hope that you stuck with me throughout this little glitch this morning. I've got a call coming in right now, so let's see if this is going to work. Hello, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, hi. To whom am I speaking?
It just started to. I've had it. I'm down here in my laundry room, so I'm gonna just grab my clothes and I'm gonna go back upstairs, and then I'll call you back. But I just wanted to let you know that finally I can hear you, so I hope everybody else can.
Oh, thank you so much. I do appreciate it, and we so look forward to hearing back from you.
Okay, I'll call you back. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Oh, yay. Well, at least I know I'm on the air now. The really bad part about this is that I was just jabbering away here for 20 minutes, giving you all kinds of good information and talking about consciousness and awareness and what the difference is. And so I'm going to assume that you never heard any of that and kind of share the information with you again. I was talking about consciousness. We are all very, very conscious. We're awake, we're functioning, we're sentient beings. That makes us conscious. But being consciously aware and being aware are not the same thing. Awareness is what you are achieving as you come more and more into your own power until you learn how to take your own responsibility, to own who you are, to love this beautiful, radiant, rare, and precious being that we all are. And so this is what the awareness is about. And as we learn to let go of the conditioning and programming and to start believing in ourselves and having our aha moments and using these tools that I've been sharing with you over the past few weeks, all these are doing is giving you ways to become more aware, to see what's going on around you, to look through a different lens, to shift the crystal, to take the glasses off, the blinders off, to get out of your box in a lot of ways. And as you become more aware of your own truth, you actually begin to vibrate higher. And as you vibrate higher, the things that are not of that vibration, disease and the bacteria and the illnesses and even the energy of people who are stuck in that violence and abuse and all of that kind of energy will begin to be intolerable. You won't be able to be around that kind of energy because you don't resonate to it anymore. And one of the things that a lot of people have said is that whenever they begin to become more aware, they become less sick. They feel better. They are not drawing into their lives the things that they had been drawing that were just so common that they never expected it to go away. So it's really important that you use every opportunity that is presented to you to become more aware of your thoughts, of your feelings, of your surroundings, of your life, of the things that are told to you. Just because something is written down, something is told to you, something is on the internet, or you see it on TV does not make it true. You have to discern what is true for you. And when you're holding the belief that you're not good enough or you're less than, and you start seeing movies and watching TV programs or reading books that seemingly confirm that false belief, then you're going to be in resonance with it. And it's going to create a self-fulfilling prophecy. You have to consciously make a choice to step out of your comfort zone. If you've always liked watching scary movies, okay, there's nothing wrong with that, but you do want to ask yourself what need is being met. What is the attraction to that, to putting yourself through those experiences, to even the violence and the war movies and all of these other ways that we subject ourselves and immerse ourselves in the violence and the anger. What would happen if you stepped out of it? What would happen if you decided to see a comedy or even a chick flick, so to speak, instead of some violent shoot 'em up movie with an open mind? Not because somebody has talked you into going or you begrudgingly give in and go and see it, but because you're actually making the choice to go and see what that different energy feels like. If you don't give yourself the opportunity to experience a change in the energy from what you're drawing into you, how are you going to know that you want anything different? Is that desire of wanting something different just what you've been told that you're supposed to want, but you don't really have any idea of what that is? These are levels of unconsciousness, of unawareness, I guess it would be a better way to say it. And it's really, really important for you to start paying attention to all of the little things in your life. Not the big things. They take care of themselves, I promise you. All righty, I've got another caller here, so let's check in. Hello?
Hi, Sherie.
Well, hello there, sweet thing.
How are you?
Want to tell everybody who you are?
My name's Nobo.
This, Nobo, is the magical, mystical numerologist I had shared with you.
My name's Nobo.
How are you doing, sweet thing?
I am so glad you're doing this show.
Oh, thank you.
So, I know there's not that much time left, and I really wanted to get your take on something.
Okay.
As you know, I've been counseling people for a long time.
Right.
And what I've seen is a very large shift in the dynamics of relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that there's a lot of pain, mostly because I see that people are trying to hold on to the old mythology that,
yes.
Like, oh, we're supposed to do this, and oh, we're supposed to go steady, or we're supposed to get engaged, and we're supposed to do this, and we're supposed to do that. But I also see within the individuals that they want a little bit more freedom, and they don't want to be contained by these limitations or restrictions because it's almost like a mythology that has washed away. So I see a lot of pain with people of allowing each other to be who they are and have their different experiences but still be together in a relationship. Like they're confused that, well, I saw him talking to these two women and laughing and having a really good time. Well, back in the day, that would say, oh, well, let's send up an alarm. But today it's like he needs to be able to do this. He needs to be able to communicate with others, and you need to just have trust. So I think it has more to do with the values changing and our belief systems changing, and I feel as if we have to do it all together as a whole, but allowing more freedom in relationships. But it's that pain. You know what I mean? That it's that pain.
Yes.
Like, yeah, but we're married, and according to the rules of marriage, he can't do this. It's like, but you got to let go of those rules. It's like,
that's
but
the
we're
old paradigm.
married.
Absolutely.
So
I
you
see
come
it
across
too.
the same thing.
I have. I've seen a lot of it, and that's one of the reasons why I'm just, in a sense, harping on the idea that we're not in Kansas anymore. We're not vibrating in those lower levels. We're getting a higher vibration, which is bringing in more love. We're accepting each other more, and we're not looking to each other as much to meet our own needs. And when you get stuck in that pattern of trying to be everything to that other person who's in your life, then you end up being unhappy, miserable, and sick. And that's the pain, in my opinion. Shift the crystal. Change the beliefs on it.
Yeah, I think it's so much of the beliefs, but, it's so embedded in I tell people, don't fault yourself. Don't feel guilty, I said, because what's good for one is good for all, and it's embedded in the psyche in the collective unconscious of the psyche. I said, but we have to take our authenticity and rise it above.
Yes, that's what I call our conditioning and programming, and it has been embedded, in our consciousness since for eons. Lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, and we're playing it out as different roles and different experiences and different situations. The difference, I think, is that this is the first time that we have ever had this much light on the planet. We have never had this much opportunity to shift the crystal, to do it different. It was not acceptable, like you were saying, in the old paradigm of marriage. It was absolutely not acceptable for them to have friends of different genders. Your husband could have his male friends, the wife could have their female friends, but the wife couldn't have a male friend, and the female couldn't have, the male couldn't have a female friend without there being insinuations and judgments and rumors and gossip about affairs and infidelities and that type of thing. And
it's in our movies. It's in our literature.
Perpetuated.
And so it's like embedded in us, and we think it's almost like this mechanical thing. It's like almost being like a automaton caught in a myth that, I'm supposed to respond this way. It's like, but how do you really feel? And I think that's what's happening in relationships today is, to be very honest with your feelings is, we need more freedom. We can't be contained by these boxes, these houses, these units. We have to explore. We have to get out and be a part of other people's lives. We have to help other people resolve. And it's no longer, okay, you're Mr. and Mrs. Fergerberger, and this is your nuclear family, and everything revolves around that. That doesn't bring in the common good. It doesn't bring in the common wealth. It doesn't bring in anything.
Under the guise of unity, it creates separation. I think that you're making some wonderful points. These are exactly in the type of thing that I'm talking about. We have to become aware that these beliefs, these unwritten rules exist, and that we abide by them without consciousness. We have to come into the consciousness of it, to the awareness that it's there.
The pain is in trying to live these rules. But when I really talk to people, they really do want that personal freedom because they feel suffocated by the rules.
Absolutely.
And trying to free them from that. And I tell them, we got to move one step at a time. We can't. Humanity has never taken a quantum leap here.
Not yet.
Be patient. Be patient. But it's just, how it is. We March 16th. Your listeners should know you and I were both born on the same day.
We are kindred spirits in that way, for sure.
So we vibrate with each other real well, but we just feel their pain, and we just want to reach in there and turn it around. But we also know that it is a learning, teaching process that's good for the all.
Right. And I think that also is where our soul agreements come in, because I do know that every being on this planet knows what's happening, knows we are ascending, knows that we are evolving. The physical aspect may not have a clue, but their higher self is very conscious of it. All of us are. And I believe that we've made the soul agreements in order to have people in our lives and experiences because we knew this was coming, that will push us and force us to grow and force us to look at it different. Because when one gets it, the agreement is complete. A soul agreement doesn't mean both people have to get it, because you don't have the same agreement with each other. You just have, the only sameness in the agreement is that you will assist each other's evolution. Noble, thank you so much for calling. I have another call here, and I'm going to...
Yeah, I'm so glad you're doing this show. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Lots of love to you.
Love to you too, darling. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So again, to those of you who are just joining us, you're listening to Easy Knowing, and I'm Sherie Kennedy. I invite you to participate and would love to hear from you. The number is 773-897-6227. Okay, well, we went out of Mercury retrograde. We welcomed in the fall equinox. We had the lunar eclipse. We've got so much energy and information coming into this planet at this time. And we truly are vibrating higher. We must open our hearts. You know, you just can't be as bad as you keep thinking you are. And the world isn't as bad as we keep being told that it is. You know, when your feelings are the most important part of your growth, because your feelings dictate really the energy that's around you, the energy that you draw to you, the energy that you feed. And if you are feeling unhappy and miserable and sick or depressed or whatever, you have got to shift your crystal. You've got to do something within. I guarantee you going out and finding all the different medications that are supposed to help with those symptoms are not going to work. It's just going to make your journey a little bit more challenging. Look within. Ask the question of why, of yourself. Why are you feeling what you're feeling? Why are you reacting the way you're reacting? Not because it's good or bad or right or wrong, but so that you can seek, so you can get information, so that you can become more clear. You know, and Noble's point about the dynamics in the relationships. I mean, everything in this world is a relationship, whether it's business, work, family, sibling, aunts, uncles. Every person you interact with is a relationship. And in truth, we have such set, defined rules, unwritten in a sense. But we know them so well, we are terrified to break them. But there are unwritten rules about how all of the relationships are supposed to unfold. And all of these rules we have drug with us over the eons, from lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, without giving credence to the evolution of our society. We, in so many ways, are still living in the dark ages with our beliefs whenever we're trying to live in the modern world with our technologies. And they are clashing. Things are not status quo. And it's not going to stop changing, because I guarantee you, as more and more people wake up and become more aware of who they are, what they're feeling, the world around them, what is tolerable anymore and what isn't, the more that it's going to keep changing. Every one of us is the most important piece of the puzzle. You know, have you ever done a jigsaw puzzle and had that one piece missing? It ruins the whole thing. We're like that in a lot of ways. We are just as important as any other person on the planet for our energy, for our need to be here, for the impact of what we bring to this world, to the consciousness of humanity. We all have a purpose. And from our third dimensional conditioning and programming, we think that purpose is to do. We have to accomplish something. We have to step out. When in truth, it's just to be. Be who you are. And when you are being who you are, that's enough. Because your presence alone is going to uplift, heal, enliven other beings. You know yourself, when a person who is happy and in a good mood comes along and starts interacting with you, you're going to be happy and you're going to get in a good mood and you're going to start laughing and joking, and your world has just been affected by the presence of that other person. By the same token, go to the opposite. You come in and you're miserable and you're unhappy and you're grouchy and you're negative to everybody. you're going to see the room scatter, or you're going to see a whole bunch of people coming in who are going to get down on the floor and wallow with you. And after you've had your great little wallow fest, do you feel better? No, you don't. It's just you've just confirmed that you deserve to be unhappy, miserable, and sick. What kind of life is that? And is that really what you want to experience in this physical realm? You have to choose. You get to choose. It's all about what works for you. You're the one who has to give yourself permission to say, think, feel, do, and believe whatever it is that you want to say, think, feel, do, and believe. You've got to stop looking outside of yourself for everybody else to give you permission, for somebody else to approve of who they think you should be. They're going to try and mold you in through their filter, in their vision. And it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. But when you give them the power to do that, that's exactly what you're giving to them is your life, literally, because you begin living it their way. What kind of sense does that make? This is your life. And you get to live it the way that is going to serve you the best. But you certainly cannot live your life if you're so busy trying to make it look like what you think everybody else wants it to be. Doesn't matter what everybody else wants it to be. They're not living it. They think they are, and they think they've got all of this power and control over you. And I guarantee you, when you take it back, they're going to be mad. But oh well, let them be mad. You taking control of your life is way more important. And when you start looking within and you start asking those questions, you may decide that you want to keep it the way it is. And if that's your truth, then that's exactly what you need to do. The difference is that the conditioning and programming is without conscious awareness. When you look at a false belief or look at a belief and decide that you want to keep that belief, you're making a choice with conscious awareness. So just because you become aware of a belief doesn't mean that you have to get rid of it or change it or do anything. You just simply have the choice, whereas you didn't have the choice previously. That's what the awareness is giving you. It's choice. And choice is the most important thing that we have. And we don't use it. We don't believe that we can choose different. It never occurs to us. But you do. And that is all yours. And all you have to do is decide what you want and choose it. Even if you choose nothing, you're making a choice. Stop giving your power away. Stop living other people's lives. Stop living their beliefs, their dreams. What are yours? And I would be willing to guess that there are a lot of people who don't have a clue what they want for their life, what their dreams are, because all they have ever heard and experienced and seen is that it can't happen. It's not my world. It's not for me. I had a friend ask me, "How do you raise your vibration? How do I raise my vibration so that I get out of this?" You raise your vibration by becoming aware. Raising your vibration isn't something that you can go out and flip a switch and turn a dial and say, okay, now my vibration is here. It doesn't work that way. Your vibration is discerned by your truth, by you, how well you know you, who you are, what is right for you. And when you start living your life according to what is right for you, you are going to be amazed at how many people are going to celebrate that with you. We have this great fear that if I don't do what everybody else wants me to do, if I don't say, think, feel, and believe what everybody else wants me to do, nobody's going to love me. My friends are going to shun me. They're going to make fun of me. They're going to think I'm crazy. So what? You know, when you are evolving and growing and shifting, things that don't feed you, that don't support you, will begin to fall away. And this does include friends that you may have had for a lifetime. It includes a marriage that may be 30, 40, 50 years old, that all of a sudden is just not able to stand under the weight of the truth. You are supported. You are loved. We all are. The universe has our highest good in mind. The Native American saying of "we are the ones we are waiting for" is so true. And what we're waiting for is for each of us to wake up, to remember who we are, and be that. Once you, that is the doing. And that's where you do without doing, and the doing gets done. Be who you are. It's not about a physical going out and cranking the engine on a car or whatever. It is not a physical thing to do. It is an internal thing. It's an awareness. It's a consciousness. It's a knowing. It's pulling away the veils. There are so many ways that people have used, the teachers have used over the years to describe what it's like. And it's very, very unique for each person, the experience of it. The process is human. The process is common. We will wake up. And it's whether you do it easy or whether you do it hard. You get to choose. But you don't get to choose until you know you've got a choice. So that's kind of the catch-22. Pay attention. Be aware. Look at the feelings that you have, that you hold. Your feelings are the power. Are you feeling joy, happiness, and love? Are you feeling contentment? Are you feeling good? Are you meeting your needs? Are you discovering what it feels like to meet your own needs? Or are you still playing the game and trying to get everybody else to meet them for you? And you can do that for as long as you need to. That is the beauty of free will and free choice. But you will come to a point whenever it's not going to serve you and it's not going to feel good to do it that way anymore. You will find another way. And whether it's using the tools that I'm presenting or whether it's some other source that provides that information to you, it does not matter. This is ancient wisdom. And this is just simply my interpretation of that ancient wisdom that I'm sharing with you. And there are many, many, many other teachers out there doing the same exact thing. We all seek truth. I've learned how to use these tools through trial and error. I was very, very open about hearing the information, but I was also very discerning. And whenever something hit me like, oh, really? That's not going to happen. I had to pay attention. I had to look at it. And I remember one of the classes that I took, my very first venture out. I was very fortunate. I had got to take two classes. One taught me what, and the other one taught me how. And through that information, that's what I started using the tools and working with them. Well, before I got to that level of wisdom, we were in about the third day of the class. And the instructor was telling us, okay, now tomorrow we're going to learn how to project your consciousness into solid objects, into crystals and into matter and da-da-da-da-da. And, you know, in the class it's like, oh, cool, that's going to be fun. But then that evening I'm in bed laying there and I'm going through the mind chatter and I'm saying, oh, this is such bullshit. This is not valid. How can you project your consciousness into solid objects and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just just bitching. I'm just really, really going off on getting all sucked into the negative and not keeping an open mind, closing not only the doors but the windows and the shutters. I was not being open to it. Now, mind you, I am not, I don't see, I don't hear, I'm clairsentient. So I'm laying there with my back to the door, and all of a sudden I hear this voice that goes, Sherie. And oh my God, my eyes watered. The hair on the back of my neck stood up. It took me a good 30 seconds before I could even move to look over my shoulder to find that there was not anybody standing there in the doorway yelling at me. And I knew at that point that was one of my guides or angels telling me to be open and to stop it and to remove the blocks just to see what happens. And, of course, I found out later that was Archangel Michael yelling at me, which I have thanked him profusely for doing over the years because it opened me. It made me aware. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to get, this deep male voice yelling your name because you're not being open or paying attention, but it could happen. But you will get other prompts because the universe is always on our side. They are always wanting our highest good because they know that as each of us evolves, everybody evolves. This ascension that we are going through and that this will affect all of creation, past, present, and future. This is a really, really big deal. But of course, we are so close to the forest, we can't see. So close to the trees, we can't see the forest. We have such abundance, such power, such light, that it just terrifies the powers that be. They have spent all of this time coming up with ways and means to keep us in fear, to keep us from discovering who we are, to keep us from believing that we are not what they have told us that we should be or that we are. Shake off the blinders, shake off the shackles, pull the dirt off of you, pull the trash out of your garbage can. Whatever metaphor, analogy you need to use it. If it will motivate you to go within, to look at what you believe and why you believe it. Just because we've been living with outdated, unwritten rules in relationships and marriages and things like that doesn't mean it's going to continue. We cannot exist within the box anymore. Spirit finally woke up. And through this process, ego has been able to get back into its original function as co-pilot. And we don't have to stay in the box anymore. Ego put us in a box because that's the only way it knew it could keep us safe. But now we're safe. And Spirit is back in control, and we are being guided on a journey of a lifetime. Jump on board. It is more than you can even imagine.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be confusing. Like Swedish techno confusing.
Bark, bark, meow, meow. Dance with me, purple cow. Bark, bark, meow, meow. Ooh, you lovely cow.
Geico makes it easy. With 24/7 access, all you have to do is go to Geico.com and you could save money on car insurance. It just makes sense. Unlike,
Dance with me, purple cow. I like your moves.